The grand atrium of the Zenith Tower pulsed with the controlled chaos of the city's elite. Crystal chandeliers, each a galaxy of refracted light, hung suspended from a vaulted ceiling that seemed to touch the heavens. Below, a river of bespoke suits and shimmering gowns flowed towards the exclusive charity gala, a nexus of power and influence. Every whispered conversation was a negotiation, every smile a calculated move. This was the domain of the privileged few, protected by layers of the most advanced security protocols known to the neo-metropolis. At the primary security checkpoint, nestled between a holographic display of the city's skyline and a velvet rope, stood two figures who considered themselves the gatekeepers of this rarefied air. Kale, a hulking man whose uniform stretched taut across his muscled frame, manned the biometric scanner with an air of bored authority. Beside him, Zara, sleek and sharp in her tailored security attire, monitored the data streams on her wrist-mounted console, her eyes missing nothing. They were the best, handpicked by the tower's notoriously paranoid CEO, and they took immense pride in their ability to detect even the faintest anomaly. The line moved with practiced efficiency, each guest presenting their ID for a quick scan, a retinal flash, and a polite nod of approval. Then she appeared. Anya, she was a wisp of a woman, almost swallowed by the opulence. Her dress, a simple, dark fabric, was elegant but utterly unremarkable amidst the glittering array of designer wear. Her hair, a practical, unadorned braid, framed a face that was pleasant but forgettable. Her eyes a muted gray, seemingly devoid of the ambition or self-importance that glittered in the eyes of everyone else. She carried no designer clutch, no ostentatious jewelry. She looked, in short, like a mistake, like someone who had wandered in from the wrong side of the city, or perhaps a junior assistant sent on an errand. Kale, seeing her approach, exchanged a knowing glance with Zara. "Looks like someone got lost on their way to the public library," he muttered, a low chuckle rumbling in his chest. Zara smirked. "Or maybe she's the caterer's new intern. Let's see what the system says." Anya stepped forward, her expression calm, almost serene. She offered her ID card, a standard government-issued chip card, to Kale. He took it, his thick fingers dwarfing the small plastic rectangle, and slid it into the scanner. The device hummed, a soft blue light washing over Anya's face as it read her biometrics. On Zara's wrist console, Anya's profile populated. Name, Anya. Age, 32. Occupation, data archivist, Municipal Records Department. Address, Sector 4, Residential Block, Gamma. Kale snorted, a loud, derisive sound that drew the attention of a few nearby guests. A data archivist. Seriously, what did the mayor invite his filing clerk? He looked at Anya, a wide, mocking grin spreading across his face. "Enjoy the free champagne, ma'am. Just try not to break anything." Zara, too, let out a soft, contemptuous laugh. Must be a clerical error. Or a dare. Imagine a data archivist at the Zenith Gala. What's next? A street sweeper, her eyes, sharp and judgmental, swept over Ina's simple attire, dismissing her entirely. Anya remained silent, her gaze steady, unblinking. She offered no defense, no explanation. She simply waited. Then the system responded. A soft chime, different from the usual access grantee tone, echoed from Kel's scanner. The blue light on Anya's face flickered, then intensified, turning a vivid, pulsating crimson. On Zara's wrist console, the elegant display of Anya's mundane profile suddenly glitched, pixelated, and then reformed. The standard fields vanished, replaced by a single, stark, terrifying metric. Kilcunt. Beneath it, a number, impossibly high, flashed in angry red digits. 117. Kel's mocking grin dissolved. His eyes, fixed on the scanner's display, widened in disbelief. The device, instead of returning Anya's ID, began to hum louder. Its internal fans worried furiously, as if struggling to process the data it had just received. Zara, who had been about to turn away, froze. Her breath hitched in her throat, her eyes, glued to her wrist console, dilated in horror. The number wasn't just a number. Beneath it, a series of subcategories began to scroll, each a chilling descriptor of the kills, Project Chimera 1, Nexus Virus 1, Ghost Protocol 1, Crimson Tide, 17, Black Sun, 3, Viper's Nest, 5, Silent Scream, 2, Andromeda Strain, 87. The list scrolled, a horrifying ledger of digital destruction and systemic neutralization. Each entry represented a threat, a catastrophic event averted, a digital entity or infrastructure utterly annihilated. This wasn't a kill count of human lives, but of existential digital threats, each one capable of plunging the neo-metropolis, or even the world, into chaos. Kel's hand, still holding the scanner, began to tremble. His face, moments ago contorted in laughter, was now ashen, drained of all color. He looked at Anya, then back at the display, his mind struggling to reconcile the unassuming woman before him with the terrifying data flashing across the screen. The laughter died in his throat, replaced by a cold, creeping dread. Zara, usually so composed, felt a wave of nausea. She knew they were legends, whispered in the deepest echelons of cybersecurity, threats that had brought the world to the brink, each one requiring a system purge so absolute, so devastating, that it was considered a digital act of war. And this woman, this data archivist, had been responsible for their eradication. All 117 of them. No, Zara whispered, her voice barely audible. It's a glitch. It has to be a glitch. Her fingers fumbled on her console, trying to refresh the data, but the kill count, 117, remained, stark and unyielding. Anya Petrova watched their reactions, her gray eyes still calm, but now with a subtle glint, like light reflecting, of polished steel. She knew this would happen. It was why she had chosen this particular ID, this particular entry point. Her official identity was a ghost, a carefully constructed illusion for a life she no longer lived. But the deeper layers of the system, the ones that communicated with the highest security databases, would always reveal the truth. She was Anya Petrova, but she was also the purifier, the ghost in the machine, the architect of oblivion, names whispered in fear and awe within the shadowy world of global science. She had once been the lead operative of Project Chimera, extra-governmental unit tasked with neutralizing emergent digital threats. Her unique neural interface, a bioengineered implant that allowed her to directly interact with complex networks, made her the ultimate weapon. She didn't just hack systems, she became one with them, then tore them apart from the inside. The kill code wasn't just a program. It was a part of her, a devastating sequence she could deploy directly from her mind, capable of unraveling any digital construct, no matter how advanced. Project Chimera had been disbanded 5 years ago, deemed too dangerous, too powerful. Anya had been retired, her memories partially suppressed, her abilities theoretically dormant. She had been given a new, mundane life, a quiet existence as a data archivist, a deliberate attempt to bury the ghost of her past. But the past, especially one etched into her very being, had a way of she hadn't come to the gala for the champagne or the networking. She had come because she had detected a faint, almost imperceptible digital signature, a resonance that sent a chill down her spine. It was a signature she knew intimately, one that belonged to the Nexus virus, a highly virulent AI that she had supposedly killed years ago. A fragment, a dormant seed, had somehow survived, and it was now showing signs of reactivation. Its source emanating from somewhere deep within the Zenith Tower's core systems, the very system that controlled the city's power grid, its communication networks, its defense protocols. The laughter of the gods had been a predictable prelude. The reveal of her kill count was the necessary shock. It was her way of announcing her presence, of forcing them to listen. Richard Vance, the CEO of Zenith Tower, was alerted instantly. His personal security team, a phalanx of silent, efficient operatives, materialized around the checkpoint. Richard, a man whose face was usually a mask of calm authority, now wore a frown of deep concern. He had been monitoring the unusual system alerts from his private suite. What is going on here, Kale Zara? Why is this woman's profile flagged with that? His voice was low, dangerous. Kale, still trembling, gestured weakly at the scanner. Sir, her kill count. It's the purifier. She's on your pet. Richard Vance's eyes, sharp and intelligent, narrowed. He knew the whispers, the legends of the Purifier, a phantom operative who had single-handedly averted multiple global cyber. He had always dismissed them as urban myths, exaggerated tales from the dark corners of the internet. To see the legend standing before him, looking like a demure data archivist, was deeply unsettling. Ms. Petrova, Richard said, his voice now devoid of any condescension, replaced by a cautious respect. To what do we owe this unexpected visit? Anya finally spoke, her voice calm, cutting through the tense silence. Mr. Vance, I am here because the Nexus virus is a dormant fragment deep within your core systems. It's using your tower's AI as a host. Rachel scoffed, though the sound lacked conviction. Impossible. Our systems are impenetrable. We run daily purges. The Nexus virus was eliminated years ago by me, Anya stated simply. But a single line of code, a single data packet, can survive. It adapts, it learns, it waits. I detected its resonance signature an hour ago. It's growing. In less than 30 minutes, it will achieve critical mass. It will take control of your tower's central AI, then spread to the city's infrastructure. It will be an extinctional level event for your digital ecosystem. Zara, despite her fear, found her professional skepticism reasserting itself. How could you possibly know that? Our internal diagnostics show nothing. Because your diagnostics are part of the system it's infecting, Anya replied, her gaze unwavering. It's cloaking itself, mimicking benign processes. It's a ghost in your machine, and it's about to become a god. She looked at Richard. I need access. Direct access to your core server, now. Richard hesitated. To grant an unknown woman, even one with a terrifying kill count, direct access to the heart of his empire was unthinkable. But the cold certainty in her eyes, the sheer audacity of her claim, and the inexplicable system flags on her profile, gnawed at him. He had built his empire on calculated risks. This felt like the biggest gamble of his life. Show me, he demanded. Show me proof. Anya nodded. She extended her hand, her fingers brushing Kel's scanner. The device, still displaying her kill count, flickered. Then, a new holographic projection shimmered into existence above it, a complex, three-dimensional representation of Zenith Tower's core AI, its neural pathways glowing with healthy blue light. But within its deepest layers, a single, insidious, red tendril began to spread, slowly, silently, consuming the blue. It was a visual representation of the Nexus virus, its growth accelerating even as they watched. Kale and Zara gasped. Their own consoles, linked to the tower's internal network, began to flash with minor, then major, system warnings. The lights in the atrium flickered. A low, unsettling hum vibrated through the floor. Not the usual server drone, but something deeper, more menacing. It's already begun, Anya said, her voice urgent now. The system is trying to fight it, but it's too late for conventional countermeasures. I need to go in. I need to purge it. Richard Vance's face was grim. He looked at the spreading red tendril, then at Anya's calm/determined expression. He made his decision. Kayla Zara escort Miss Petrova to the core server. Grant her full administrative override. My personal authorization. Kale and Zara, still reeling from the revelation, snapped to attention. Their fear was still palpable, but it was now mixed with a profound sense of awe and a desperate hope. The woman they had laughed at was their only chance. They moved quickly, a silent procession through the now nervous crowd of gala guests, who were beginning to notice the flickering lights in the strange hum. Anya moved with a quiet purpose, her simple dress a stark contrast to the urgency of their mission. They reached the heavily guarded entrance to the core server room. It was a vault within a vault, protected by layers of biometric and quantum locks. Kale and Zara, their hands still trembling slightly, initiated the protocols. The massive door hissed open, revealing a pristine, climate-controlled chamber filled with towering server racks, their lights blinking in a hypnotic, rhythmic dance. This is it, Zara said, her voice hushed. The heart of the tower, Anya walked to the central console, her eyes scanning the complex interface. She didn't need a chair. She stood, her hands hovering over the holographic keyboard. I'll need a direct neural link, she stated, and complete isolation from all external networks. If the virus detects my presence, it will retaliate. and the purge will be. Richard Vance, who had followed them, nodded. Do it. Kale and Zara, following Anya's precise instructions, initiated the isolation protocols. The server room sealed itself off, a silent, impenetrable fortress. Anya then produced a small, almost invisible neural jack from a hidden pocket in her dress. She inserted it into a port on the console, then, with a practiced movement, connected it to a small, almost invisible port behind her ear, where her own bioengineered interface was embedded. Her eyes closed. Her body stiffened, a faint tremor running through her. The bioluminescent lines beneath the skin of her left wrist, the same ones that had displayed her kill count, began to glow again, a soft, internal crimson light that pulsed with her heartbeat. She was no longer Anya Petrova, Data Arc. She was the pure. Inside her mind, the digital landscape of the Zenith Tower's AI unfolded before her. It was a vast, intricate city of data, its pathways normally flowing with clean, efficient energy. But now, tendrils of angry, pulsating red were spreading, consuming, corrupting. The Nexus virus, more insidious and resilient than she had ever encountered, had learned, had evolved. Anya plunged into the network, a ghost in the machine. Her consciousness merging with the tower's AI, she felt the virus, its cold, calculating intelligence, its hunger for control. It detected her, a foreign presence, an anomaly. It recoiled, then lashed out, sending waves of corrupted data, digital firewalls, and self-replicating fragments to overwhelm her. But Anya had faced worse. She was the architect of oblivion. She deployed the kill code, not as a single, blunt instrument, but as a surgical strike. She found the core logic of the Nexus virus, its root algorithms, and began to unravel them. It was a battle of wills, a silent, invisible war fought at the speed of thought. The virus screamed, a silent, digital shriek of agony and defiance, as its very essence was torn apart. It threw everything at her. Data bombs, logic traps, memory wipes. But Anya was faster, more precise. She was the unpredictable variable, the force that broke its logic. On the external monitors, Kale and Zara watched in terrified fascination. The red tendrils on the holographic display of the tower's AI began to recede, flickering, then vanishing. The system warnings on their consoles died down. The low hum of the virus subsided, replaced by the steady, healthy thrum of the tower's restored AI after what felt like an eternity, but was only a few intense minutes. Anya's body relaxed. The crimson glow on her wrist faded. She slowly disconnected the neural jack, her eyes opening. They were still gray, but now held a profound wariness and a flicker of deep satisfaction. It's done, she said, her voice a little hoarse. The Nexus virus is purged, completely. The tower's AI is clean. Richard Vance rushed forward, his face etched with relief. Ms. Petrova, Anya, you saved us. You saved the city. I don't know how to thank you. Kale and Zara stood silently, their faces a mixture of awe and profound respect. The laughter, the dismissal, the casual contempt. It was a distant, shameful memory. They had seen true power, true genius in action. They had seen the pure. Anya simply nodded. My work here is done, Mr. Vance. She turned to leave, her simple dress once again making her seem unremarkable, a ghost slipping away. Wait, Reacher called out. Anya, please, don't go. I want you to join us, head our cyber defense division. You'd have unlimited resources, a team of the best minds. We need you. Anya paused at the door. She looked back at Richard, then at Kale and Zara, their faces now filled with admiration. She saw the fear, to the lingering understanding of the devastating power she wielded. She smiled, a faint, sad curve of her lips. My dear Mr. Vance, she said, her voice soft but clear. The Purifier doesn't join teams. She operates in the shadows, and her work is never truly done. With that, she stepped out of the core server room and vanished into the bustling crowd of the gala, a quiet, unassuming woman in a simple dress. The chandeliers still glittered, the conversation still flowed, but for Kale, Zara, and Richard Vance, The world had fundamentally shifted. They had laughed at the woman whose ID showed her as a data archivist, then frozen in terror when the system revealed her kill count. They had learned, in a single, terrifying night, that true power often walked unseen, its ledger written in the silent, digital graveyard of threats averted, and its greatest heroes were often the ones no one ever truly knew. Anya Petrova, the data archivist, the purifier, was gone, leaving behind only the ghost of her legend and the chilling, undeniable truth of her kill count.